First thing I need to do when shaping the lames is actually put a single curve in them, and I'm going to do that over the horn of my anvil. I've shaped. Here we have lame has gone through its first stage of shaping. You can see kind of this shape. It's just a nice U. Here we have two lames that have gone through their first stage of shaping. You can see where it's handy to have the names written on, number 1, number 2. Number 2 obviously fits inside number 1. Now you can see that if I were to rivet these together now, they actually just wouldn't articulate round each other, right, unless I make that gap there really big to allow them to move. And that's because this single curve isn't sufficient for a lame. It needs to curve that way as well. And so that if you think about it, so that the lames can slide over each other like this as they're articulating around a pivot point there. So what I need to do actually is to put a tiny dish onto this side of each of the lames, then that'll allow them to slide under each other and then actually stop when they get to this extended bit without ended up with this massive gap on the inside. Okay, I'm just going to put a slight radius onto the top side of that lame. Next we're going to do shaping the fans on the knee cops. Now with the knee cop itself, we've got this nice curve shape here, and then we've got this piece here which is flat. Now while it is a solid chunk of steel, under the stress of rattan combat it will quickly bend, and after a while of being bent and then straightened back out again it will snap. So what I like to do is make it a bit more rigid, and we do this by putting some sort of shape here which puts like ridges in this piece. Now you see these in all sorts of shapes throughout the historical pieces. I'll show you these ones here. So now I've carved like a heart shape into that, you can see. With this one here, what I'm actually going to do is make a triangle shape on it. I've actually marked it on the back already. So actually I'm going to be striking from this side of the metal, which is the inside, okay? And I'm going to be stretching this metal out, okay, to make a triangular shape, which to give this fan the rigidity that it needs. Now to do this I will be striking using this hammer, which is I think a modified raising hammer, that would be the best way to describe it. But you can see it's got like a fairly flat face, but this is rounded here, and actually the corners are rounded off as well, so it doesn't leave sharp edges or dinks in it if I should happen to hit slightly off square. The original one I had of these was just a modified brick chipping hammer, where I trimmed the end down a little bit, which I still use sometimes, but I prefer this one because it's slightly lighter and easier to use. To do the shaping of the fan, I'm going to be using my Bic iron stake, which I was lucky enough to pick up second hand for about 20 quid. These edges on here are sharp with a 90-degree corner on, except for this bit here, which I actually smoothed off, so it's got a slight radius on it. Now the reason for having a slight radius on it is so that it doesn't leave like a nick or a ding in the metal when I'm shaping it over it. Now for this one, see what I've got to do is a lot more striking required here than here, so I'm just going to set that up and get on with it. See here, I've completed my first pass down one side. See the metal's already started to move, and again we've got this pattern on the inside there. You can see where the strikes are, but quite smooth on the outside, so hopefully I won't have too much cleanup to do. Just going to do a bit of cleaning up work, and I'm going to use my planishing hammer. I'm just going to sharpen up these lines a little bit.